I'm not too sure.
Okay. So who said they have received what?
If you have the Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Follow.
Okay.
It's received. Please, you could ask people to check their spam. Like mine, I found it in the spam, so they could just check.
Yeah, you have to check your spam, please, as suggested by Princess Margaret. Please, you check your spam email and you will see it there. Okay, so you're welcome to this training today. I just a recap. I just want somebody to tell us the last time we met. What did we discuss?
Part of what we discussed, in particular, best practice of how to go about data governance. And we talk about strategy, we talk about policy components. Okay.
Okay, there are two classes. One is about the component of data governance, and the other one is data policies, data governance policies. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You do you want to phone a friend? You remember that? Okay, we define data governance policies as a set of rules and procedures and guidelines that any organization establishes to ensure the effective and secure management of its data assets, because it's a valuable asset. Okay, and also this policy outlines how data should be managed, stored, and access also be protected throughout this life cycle within the enterprise. Okay, that being said, we define different kind of policy. We have data quality policy. So this policy is about regarding the standards and procedure for ensuring the accuracy, completeness, and consistency and integrity of data. So I may mention what integrity is. So integrity is just about honesty in action. Okay, so a typical example of data quality is about an organization collects customer information for marketing, especially when you're an insurance company, for marketing, campaigns, and whatever. However, inconsistency in data entry leads to what duplication records and inaccurate customer profiles. Okay, so that need to be taken care of by during analysis, you can do cleansing. Okay, so what are the challenges when you now meet a data that's not really consistent with expectation, or there's a duplication? You will ensure consistency of data quality across different sources and systems. Okay, so that there will not be difficulty, especially at a data volume, as data big complexity is becoming very visible. Okay, so what you do in that, you implement data validation checks at the points of entry anytime. Just as if the name's supposed to be John Smith Salasi, don't just say John Salasi. It has to be John Smith Salasi. Okay, so at the point of entry, if you need the surname, the middle name, and the other name, you must maintain that consistently. If it's not consistent, that will be a problem. If you say John Smith, then you're going to see another John Smith, that duplication. So there must be consistency in dealing with data, okay? And when you do that, the point of entry, you establish data quality standard, regularly clean and duplicate data sets. Deduplicate, that means don't duplicate. That means remove the duplication. That's called deduplicate data set, and invest in data quality tools and technologies. Most cases use softwares to do that. Don't worry, you use one of those softwares as we begin to grow. So we have, we will be in a group that probably you need to understand what is called cleansing of data, okay? Using Power BI, okay? And then we also talked about data privacy and security. Of course, in that policy, we mentioned, it is just a recap, policy related to safeguarding sensitive information, kind of complying with the privacy regulations such as GDPR in Europe, and sometimes you can see CCPA or IPPA in America, depends on one is talking about health and one is talking about California kind of data protection that comprise both data privacy and data security. Data privacy being that we're talking about the compliance with the regulations and law that operate within a terrain or regional factor. And also security talking about the authorized or unauthorized access to data sets, okay? And the example of such is like in healthcare, those who work in the healthcare, you can, in healthcare provider stores, patient records containing sensitive medical information. So without proper security measures, there's a risk of data breaches or unauthorized access. Or what about banks? The same thing. What about sales company like M&S, Primark and whatever? So there are a lot of companies that such could be breached. So what the challenges that you normally meet is balancing the need for data accessibility with the requirement to protect sensitive information, and poses a significant challenge. Especially when you have a highly regulated industry and also dealing with the complexity of data that may arise at a time, especially when you are doing having what's called scalability, that is trying to migrate from a platform to another due to the complexity of data that may be arising or business needs. So how do you do that? You do what is called encryption. You can encrypt sensitive data, implement role-based access, controls, and also conduct regular security assessment and audits, and train employees on data security best practice. I remember Margaret's image of best practice. Best practice being, the most acceptable practice that has produced the most superior result ever compared with alternatives. So when you continue to have that data security best practice, and comply with the relevant privacy regulations, there will not be risk and non-compliance issue. So that may result to fine or litigation. Okay, you need to mitigate against any such challenge quickly. So we talk about data life cycle management. Of course, this policy is very, very important. You have to have a moral standard of producing the guidelines for managing data from creation to disposal. So when you try to create the data and when it's going to be disposed of. So including data retention periods and archiving procedures and also deletion policies. I carried out this one last Thursday, and I have to write a policy and sign it off quickly in the organization very, very fast, because I don't want to have a cumbersome, a place where data have to be retained for too long a time. Most especially, they are not contributing to the business need that was required. So example of that is a financial institution needs to retain some transaction and also data for compliance purposes, but struggle with managing the growing volume of historical data, especially when you want to keep them for too long a time, maybe for survey reason or for research purposes as well. So what are the kind of challenge you may face on that? You will be developing a comprehensive data life cycles management strategy. Can somebody tell me the meaning of strategy, please?
Long-term plan.
Long-term plan. So if it is long-term, if it's not long-term plan, it will be short-term plan. So what's the word for short-term plan?
Tactical.
Tactical, as you go and B. Okay, so we have up to 8 policies, which of course are those who have not received the literature. Please, I will send them across to you. You must indicate. If you don't indicate that you need literature, you can't have it. Because if you indicate, send me the right email address so that I send it to you, because it is your right to have this. You have to know this. You have a right to have this. Some people have received, some people have not. And if you have received, please let me know that you have received the literature. Or if you have not, then it's my duty to make sure I send it to you. Somebody told me you have not received. I sent 2 to the person today. Was it 2? Who is that? Is this Alessi or Mary or Margaret? Margaret?
I've not requested for it, so
Okay, Margaret.
I have not received mine still.
Okay, Margaret. I think I sent to Margaret yesterday night.
Me too. I haven't received mine, sir.
Okay, please make sure you send this. It is your duty to receive every literature that it needs you to know, because you're going to do practical. And when it comes to that, you need to make references to what has been taught theoretically, that you need to convert it to practical action. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, by the end of today, if you don't receive, you make sure you hit my phone to make sure you receive it, because if you don't, you will not receive it. Some people here have received. Okay, so that is just the recap of that is just for the purpose of data compilation. It's very important. That's the recap of what has been taught. But today I'm going to lay emphasis on the number 3 of the curriculum, which of course I want you to understand. With this, we're going to spend time on this. And just get ready that you'll be speaking. Okay, otherwise, if you're not speaking, I'm going to give you Lewis. Then you will know whether you will speak or not. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so right, let me know if you are seeing what I'm sharing. Can you see what I'm sharing?
yes, sir.
Yes, we're seeing it here. I'm seeing it here.
Yes,
Thank
I've
you.
seen it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Who is iPhone here?
So I said, it's Bridget. I've seen it, sir.
Okay, who is iPhone here?
Tony.
Tony?
Yep.
I'm going to change your name again. I'm going to
Yeah,
rename
Michael.
Tony again. So don't change it, because I want to know who is on board. Tony. Tonero. That's what we normally call them. Does it? Tonero.
That's it. That's it. That'd be cool.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now people will join from any angle, but we cannot wait for anyone again. So what can you see here? Mastering data quality.
Strategic.
Mastering data quality. What I'm talking about, this is data quality in data governance. So this data quality, please don't play with this. Okay. It's a strategy approach to achieving data what? Data accuracy and what?
Completeness.
Thank you.
Consistency and reliability.
Wow. In fact, so clever people you are. If I grow up, I will be as clever as you. This is very important. Okay? Very, very important. So we're going to be dealing with the strategy. Strategy means what? What's strategic approach? What does that mean? What do you mean by strategy?
Long and short-term plans.
Long-term plan.
Long-term plan. Thank you, Mary. And who else again? Who said that?
Bridget.
Oh, Bridget. You have to say Princess Bridget. Long-term plan. If I don't hear that princess in front. Okay. Long-term plan. Right. Okay. Now, have you heard the word accuracy before?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. Have you heard the word completeness before?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard the word consistency before?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What about the word reliability?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let me be very frank with you. If this particular curriculum is not well taken care of in your governance and management, you're not doing any work. This has to be done very well. And that's why there is strategic approach, the long-term plan for it. The essence of you being employed is to ensure that this is accomplished. So don't play with it. So especially those who want to become data analysts, very important. Data governors may not be doing it, but they know about it. A data governors will ensure that the data analysts have to do it properly. But you cannot manage something you do not know. If you put someone in place, to do something for you, and the person gave you something, you don't know whether the person has given you garbage, it will fall back on you, isn't it? If you are managing something and the thing you are managing is something that did not give you, will give you something that it doesn't want it, don't you know it is your responsibility to make sure things are all right? So now it's good for you to understand what data quality is. And let me give you an introduction to it. So in today's driven world, the integrity of your data is what?
Accuracy.
Paramount. What is the meaning of paramount?
It's accurate, it's true,
Accuracy.
it's precise.
Definite.
Paramount. The word paramount means important.
Important.
Important. So Mary was telling us what is so important. Accuracy, completeness. She was just defining the paramount aspect of data. Integrity. So the word integrity, who can remember what the word integrity is? If you are facing an interview, remember this word. Let the word be in you. Seriously. Integrity strategies and those words are very, very key. So integrity means honesty in practice, honesty in action.
Yes.
So if something that is true, walk in the truth. So the integrity, that the data has to have high integrity, trustworthy. Because when you have integrity, you are credible, you are trustworthy. So if data is trustworthy, there's credibility, it's credible. So it becomes valuable for people to buy into. So integrity is very important. So integrity of data is very, very important. It's paramount. So data quality is the foundation. Look at the word foundation, please. That is the reason why I said you must understand this. Is the foundation upon which every enterprise builds their decision making. So if there's no integrity, there is no proper foundation, decision making, because there's no status quo for the decision to be made. So I want you to understand that. So if you are sleeping or waking up, if you are sleeping and waking up, just know that every decision of data quality is based on its integrity. So if that is the foundation, is the stethoscope that we have a resultant effect of what's called decision making. Okay. Now, decision making process, business strategies, and ultimately their success. So if you really want to have a decision process, your strategy, long-term plan, of course, also talking about the success of your business, then integrity of data is very important. Okay, so as Mary said the other time, it has to be accurate. It has to be complete. It has to be consistent. Data has to be reliable. Okay, so accurate, complete, consistent, and reliable data is the lifeblood of any organization. You can just imagine why I'm laying emphasis on this. Ensuring that your data meets this criteria is not a mere technical challenge, but is an imperative strategy. It's an imperative strategic approach. It is not it's not just for this to be ensured. It's not only just technical challenge, but it must be strategically enshrined into the business goal, aims, and objectives of your enterprise. That being said, we have to understand data quality. So data quality refers to the degree to which data accurately and efficiently represent the real-world information. When we have quadrillions of bytes being produced every day, of data produced every day, we must look at those data, how accurate and effective it is to represent the real world situation, information. It is meant to capture. That breaks down the key components of data quality. Number one, accuracy. Accuracy simply refers to free from errors, omissions, and discrepancies. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Bridget. Antonia. For example, in a sales database, if you work in a sales company before, maybe M&S or ASDA, an accurate entry would include the correct product, correct price, and correct quantity information. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. What about completeness? Complete data include all relevant information without any gaps.
In the customer record.
Yeah, in a customer record. This would entail having all contact details. And when you're putting the contact details, you're supposed to press 5, you go and press 7. Or maybe it's supposed to be 11 figures, you go and put 10 figures. It's not complete. So the say contact detail, if the say contact detail, instead of you to press 11 figures of number, digit number, you press 12. What kind of data quality is that?
It's not accurate.
Thank you. Who said that? Mary, you are the star of this afternoon. I believe so. I love that. So you see the way I move the thing. If you press 10, it's incomplete. If If you press 12, it's not accurate. If you press a figure wrong, but still 11, that is inaccurate. If you, I love that. That's very interesting. So, all right. So all contact details, purchase history, and related interactions. So if you are buying something online, you discover that after the online purchase and you receive something, they're going to advertise something straight to you in one way or the other because they know your history, how you buy. The information has to be complete. They have to gather your information during the time you register in their what's it called? In their database or using their app. Yeah. A hand is up, FA.
I was going to say that one is very key when we're applying for bank cards. The information has to be as complete and as accurate as possible. If not, your card will get sent to the wrong address or wrong person, which will fraudulent use.
That's correct. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you for that. And we have consistency. Consistent data adherence to a uniform set of rules, standards, and formats. For instance, consistent date formatting across various databases is crucial. Can somebody give me an example of that?
An example has to do with getting customers' information. For example, their names. It has to be consistent. If I'm trying to coin it in my own word, basically the data of customers has to be consistent in terms of their names. For example, you can't be Mary O Dennis today, and the next page or the next information is going to be Mary G Dennis or Mary Q David. So the data is not, in terms of the name, customer name is not consistent. It has to be the same in every aspect, in all stages.
Okay, I love that try. That's very good.
Okay, can I add to that?
Your hands. Okay, who's adding? Okay, Tony.
Yes. So in terms of format, feel like a topographical formation, like an example would be that either you want to put the detail of your customer or your patient into the computer. You may say, put the first name first, and then middle name, and then the last date of birth. So every entry that you have to put in should reflect the same pattern. So you can't go to the next. Yes.
I love that.
Or the same format. So that and that format has to be consistent. So you can see John Smith, Aaron Jones. That's how it should be. Jones is the last name, Smith is the middle name. So everybody has to follow that format. And the date of birth is required. Maybe that should come last. And then the address followed. So everything should be consistent. It should be the same.
Good. That's very good.
Also, can I add to that? In terms of formats, every organizations have their format. So as a data governance administrator manager, you must adhere to the organization format. Also, you can actually you can advise them on the ethical or the principles of how they can actually keep customers' format.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Efe, your hands up. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Tony.
An example of consistent data will be, say, for example, daily temperature is tracked in the city. Say the weather Every day, the weather temperature is recorded by the meteorological office, and every day the recordings are put down and using the same method every time. So today it could be 25 degrees centigrade, tomorrow it could be 26 centigrade. But what does not change is the way in which it is measured. Every time the same method is used. So we'll say that data is consistent. So you cannot measure the weather using the thermometer today, and tomorrow you measure it using your hand. That data will not be consistent. So it has to be, so it's consistent when you use the same measure all the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's it. And if there is no consistency in the data, and then people may not rely on your data, and they may become useless, and the goals won't be achieved.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're talking about the effect of inconsistency.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Okay.
Can I give an example of consistency? Like today, you know, I've been using my iPhone, and I wanted to use my iPad. Practically, I wanted to use my iPad, but then when I went to the Zoom, I forgot that I've already registered with Zoom. My details are there and something. And then I went registering again. Straightforward, he told me, you have registered with us already. But you know what? I forgot my password. So I have to just tell them for them to check and see that I am the same person. So practically this morning, that is what I have observed about consistency of a data.
Thank you so much.
That is what that happened to me this morning. I was trying to use my laptop, and it said the password and your this thing and that. So I have to use my iPhone. So sometimes it's not, I don't know, but that is what happened to me this morning. And then if it's happened continuously, you will not be trusted.
Yeah. We thank you. If your hand up.
Yeah, a consistent one across the NHS is the date of birth, DOB. That is a consistent form of data that is used across the whole of NHS to measure one's age. So you can't call up today and they will say, how old are you? And say, I'm 20 years old today. They will always say, date of birth, please. It's what they will always say. So that's a consistent one across every health sector in the UK.
Thank you so much.
Right. Just to add the consistency again, because you give us an example of the value of consistency. Myself, an example. Today I use my iPhone, and the fact that I use my iPhone, I know last few sessions you knew I was using my laptop with my name displaying, but using something that is different from what I was using tends to cause some kind of confusion. And from that point, he said, no, I have to write your name down because I don't know who is who. So that's a disadvantage of not being consistent.
Thank you so much. I so much appreciate the mirage of example coming. That shows you guys are paying attention. You know, don't worry. When you're gonna
That's why this class is hot. They are hot. They are hot.
Yeah, I wanted to make reference to you.
They are hot.
I want to make reference to you. So before you now spoke, you said when you're going to be doing Power BI, you know about consistency. Some of the data you're going to input, some data you're going to upload, they may not be consistent in their arrangement. Some will be whole number, some will be decimal point. So you need to make it consistent so that you can visualize it powerfully. That will be during cleansing. You will see that during the Power BI something. Lewis will take you on that, and you can't wait to become a data analyst in training in that place. So you will see consistency in action. Just look at it. For instance, the consistency date formatting across various database is crucial. We're talking about consistent date now, Martin. For example, you see some date of birth will be that put it in this format: 0DD / then MN / YYYY. So we start with y and that MMM/DD or some just dot. So they are consistent. So if you do it wrongly, then you will see, they will tell you, you know what, you got it wrong. Go back to your date of birth, DOP. So why? Because you have to be concerned with the format that they have configure in their database. So consistency is very important. Okay, thank you so much. They will also talk about reliability. So data can be trusted to make informed decisions. Reliable data is free from bias. Understand the word bias, very important, okay? Manipulation and undue influence. What do you mean by bias?
Bias means when you're not one-sided.
When you're one-sided or when you're not one-sided?
Yeah,
one-sided. When you're one-sided.
One-sided, yes. One-sided.
Okay. Because I want you to understand there are professionals.
Is it safe to use the word fairness?
Fairness,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, fairness, that sounds
When you are
good.
receiving a data, you don't need to be
one side.
Yes. So,
one side is
can you give me an example of what that, an implication of that, if we are one-sided, or an example of what happened and the implication of the same? Example of being biased and the implication of the same.
Like ratio, because you are not, you didn't come from this person, this place. You are now having different mind towards them. So you are biased towards those people. Like ratio.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you for that. Okay.
Okay, can I add to that? Can I add to that?
Add to it, yeah.
Okay, to be biased means that you're deviating from the norm or the standards created.
Okay. Standard use. Okay, that's good. If your hand is up.
So a form of when data could be biased is when in a locality, they have a lot of crime.
Anybody hear me?
Or being
I hear you.
in that area. And based on that, you apply for a credit card. Just because you come from that particular locality, you get declined because all they've seen is that locality is known for fraud, it's known for crime, it's known for this and that. So therefore, everyone who lives in that area will probably be made from the same cloth. And then you go to a different locality and everyone there is, well, top-notch, high-collar level kind of job, good jobs, good pay, good housing and all that. So based on that, whatever they want in that area, it gets given to them because that area is known for being clean. But the funny thing is the person who's applied to you from the high crime vicinity or high crime locality will probably be more honest than the other person. So this bias is coming.
Okay.
Thank you.
What about when? Okay.
Base it on that bias when it should. Then it's just like insurance companies. Insurance companies will sell insurance to you based on the come from and all that. So it will go high or it will go low, depending on the locality you come from.
Sure.
And the kind of crime being committed in that area where it's crime, insurance is bound to be high. Where there's no crime, where there's no car theft, insurance will probably be low.
I think
because also be based on your historical data. So I've been driving without any accident. Therefore, I'm assumed to be a good driver. But it could be that I have just been lucky in driving, so I've not really had any accident. I could be very reckless and not have any accidents. So, but based on my historical data of no accidents, I'm giving that insurance. And then someone else who might have just hit, who might have had a bump in the past, even though they are very careful drivers, their insurance will be very high because they've had that incident recorded against them. So biases could work in different ways. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
That's a very good example. Yeah.
I think from my point of view, I think bias is when you compromise, the fairness or
Absolutely.
You compromise it.
So when you are receiving information, when you're receiving data, you don't compromise the standard. This is how you see it. This is how the standard has to be. It has to be consistent. It has to be accurate. It has to be complete. It has to be, the source has to be known, and it has to be what it's supposed to be, not because these people, like I said, explain, or these people are from this area and that kind of thing. Then therefore you now have to be biased with kind of information that is coming. That's very good. Good. I'm really, I'm really impressed with everyone's contribution and the willingness to understand what the concept really is. So reliable data is actually free from bias and manipulation. People manipulate data. And undue influence, that may be a terrain factor or regional factors that affect your data. So that will make data very unreliable. Okay, that's very good. Very, very good. So let's deal with it. So the strategy for collecting data, strategies for data quality, sorry. One of the strategies is data profiling and assessment. Okay? Strategies for data quality. You have to have what? Data profiling and
assessments.
This begins with a thorough examination of your data. Have you received data on your phone before?
Yes.
All the time.
So have you assessed the data that you receive on your phone?
Yes.
Have you profiled your data that you receive on your phone?
No.
Yes.
Some people, they don't profile their data and they don't assess it. The next thing, they just forward to people without knowing what's there. It's dangerous. You have to examine those data very well. Okay? So that you not put yourself in trouble. All right?
Not clicking.
Especially when it's sent to you.
Not sending. Sharing.
Yeah. Especially when it's sent to you, say share to 10 people so that if you really love me or love God,
if you love God.
terrible, message you can receive. So there are things that if you don't know, don't say. That you receive information does not mean that information is true. It could be a fact, but it's not true. Okay? So you need to censor, you need to profile them. You need to thoroughly examine the information you have. It's one of the strategies for data quality. So there are two tools like data profiling and assessment software can help identify anomalies, outlier, and also inconsistency of data. For example, if you run a healthcare system, you might use data profiling to ensure patients' data records are complete and accurate. You profile the data. Is it complete or is it accurate? Is this information in line with the date of birth of this person? So that you don't take someone's blood test and put it in another person's name in another person's blood test. So that you don't give people's baby to another people's baby because it's a wrong tag they put in the person's name when the two babies are born the same, they put in one place. It's very important. One has to be very careful. So one of the strategies is actually data standardization. Remember this. You have to create and implement clear data standards and rules. This ensures that it follows a predefined structure. An example is ensuring that all addresses in your customer database follow a specific format. So if not, there's going to be real big issues. Those who are working in insurance company, those who are working in business, in banking sector, even in healthcare, even legally, the legal sector, things has to be this is how the structure is. So if it doesn't go that way, then there's going to be problems. So for example, how do you store, what is the format of sending or storing video?
MP3, we use MP3.
Study video?
Storing videos.
Louis?
They use cloud, isn't it?
No.
The format of sending videos or story.
Storing
the name of the video.
No, the format. Louis?
Pastor.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to chip in on this one was I'll make an example of real-time data, even on the news. Yeah. Apparently, as we all know, there's an election, and between the war between the conservative and Labour ongoing. Yes, Labour is prevailing, but for them to say that, you see some of these, will I call them analysts or reporters or journalists? It's a form of data itself.
Of course.
And they bring out live data of every borough, MPs in all boroughs. They bring what is going on, and they could actually tell the thoughts of the masses from their response. All these things are information that are gotten from the local governments. And that's when Pastor said something that hit the nail on the head, that for accurate description, data has to be really crystal clear for you to get a meaningful data indirectly. If you have a plot or a pie chart or whatever it is, you could only, the stakeholders, who are those who you're explaining to, once they look at what you are presenting to them, they could actually see what you're talking about. In due time, when we do the other assignments, you want to get a grip of what Pastor is saying. I know most of you already do, but you see a live event of it eventually. So that's just what I want to chip in. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that contribution, Louis. I want you all to understand, okay, somebody want to speak over? I want you to understand for video format. How will you store video format? The format of storing video.
We store videos in various, so there are various formats. I know that I normally use the MP3 format. You can store them in hard drives. You can store them in cloud.
Whether cloud or database. What format will video come?
Is it JPG? I'm not sure. There's something JP.
Is MP4.
Is it I thought it was, sorry, MP4, not MP3.
MP3 is audio.
MP3 is audio.
Sorry, MP3
video is MP4.
MP4, sorry, MP4.
See the standard, that is specific format.
And then of course,
so many. Okay, what else again how can we store this?
Of course, you must put it the title, the description.
That's correct.
The video, such as so that when anyone picks it up, and then how much storage space is going to take up, especially when you're sending it out to someone.
That's correct. So now, what standard do we store every other document? The other documents?
PDF.
PDF format.
PDF,
JPEG. Okay. The standard, there's another standard of storing another documents. What is that?
Word 97.
Word. So I want you to understand that those are formats.
Word 97 moved on from.
So therefore, we must define.
No, we haven't moved on. I still have word 97.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So another strategies for data quality. Another strategy for data quality is validation. So this basically means implement validation rules to ensure data accuracy. This includes checking for data types, the ranges, and format. For example, when customers input their credit card numbers on your e-commerce website, use a validation algorithm to confirm their accuracy. So some of the numbers may not be right, but we need to say valid. If you've gone to self-service in Asda, or maybe you go to filling station, is when you tap your credit or card and you say valid, okay, that means there is an algorithm that already inculcated or imputed in that system depicting the validity of your data in your card. So this is very important in order to ensure, accuracy. Okay? So these are strategies for data quality. Strategy for data quality, you need profiling, you need data standardization, you need validation. Okay? And we also have data cleansing. We have data cleansing. Periodically clean your data by removing duplicates, correcting inaccuracies, and filling in missing information. For instance, if you maintain a product inventory, data cleansing ensures you remove duplicate entries and update data at a product description. Any other example can you give on this, Louis?
Yeah, I did this recently with my mobile phone, where I had so many names. I had so many first names. I didn't have surnames against those first names. And I found that some of them had they had different mobile numbers. So I started doing a data cleanse. I found that some of them could have same number. And then probably I saved it as, let me say, Caroline 1, Caroline 2, but it was the same number. And then I saved it again with a different surname. So what I did was I cleansed my phone. I started deleting numbers from my phone, started deleting names from my phone, and then tried to make sure I did a standardization of all the names on my phone by including surnames. And those people's surnames I didn't have, I sent them a WhatsApp message saying, please, I can't remember what your surname was. If you could just send it to me. I'm just trying to update my phone with all the information.
Thank you so much. That is a very typical example of it. I want everyone to be aware that you will be doing this practically. You need to cleanse your data, cleanse duplication of data.
In addition, most devices also would ask the users if there's a need to merge same information or wipe it off. So sometimes most devices, they've got inbuilt mechanism where same data could be could ask you if you want to merge it or you want to delete one. So sometimes it comes as automation.
Absolutely.
In the form of automation.
You don't hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Also to add to that, I think data cleansing is basically cleansing irrelevant informations that you feel that are not needed should be.
That is really, really key as well.
Okay, can I add to that? And I think with my iPhone, it asks me this question, and it says delete what you don't need, then you save space. And I deleted them, all the duplicates. Then I've got more space. If space is going to be an issue, it does help as well. Storage, I should say.
Yeah, that is really, really good as well. Who is in this place that is iPhone, please? Can you identify yourself so that who is iPhone here? Who is iPhone here is very important. Yeah, who is iPhone here?
You've changed mine already, isn't it?
You are the one who is there. So
I am iPhone as well, sir.
Okay.
So we have Queen Rita on iPhone. Then we have Princess on iPhone.
Okay, so what I will do, I will change it properly, okay?
I will be using this again because I'm trying to rectify the
Bridget, you are okay. Bridget, you are okay. You are no iPhone. Somebody's iPhone here, so I think it could be Rita. So let me name the person properly, okay? Right. Okay, Paul, your hand is up.
Sorry, you have just done a data cleansing by identifying who is iPhone and getting rid of iPhone and putting in the correct name.
Caroline. Again.
It's okay. All right. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I just don't want somebody for data purposes, and I don't want somebody to just come in and this is a specialized training. So very important. Now, data cleansing is very important. Have you ever saved a document and you alter the document and you try to save it again and it tells you that, oh, this name is already existing? Have you ever saved a document that they said, oh, this name, this document name is already existing. Do you want to replace?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That is a typical example of cleansing, because you don't want to have duplication. That's called deduplication. So it's very important. So when you're going to do data analysis, you're going to see a lot of duplication that will be all. How to cleanse data, okay? Very, very important. And then we have data governance itself. This establishes the framework to monitor and enforce data quality policies. So I taught policy the other time. In your data analysis, you need to enforce the framework and monitor the policy, the quality policies that you put in place during the time of your data analysis. In your profiling, in your cleansing, in your establishment metrics, there must be policy. And data governance work right there is to make sure these policies they are enforced. Okay, you monitor the same because they are put together in the framework of the program. Okay, so it is your responsibility to assign people to carry out such process. And most people who do that is the steward, data stewards. And I'm going to teach you data governance organization and responsibility, rules and responsibility. Then you're going to see the organogram as where it depends on the enterprise you are. As long as the structure has to follow, may not really be a traditional format, but it might be well-defined rule and responsibility cascading from up in terms of accountability and responsibility from bottom to up as well. So in that, you will see how things are being enforced and also, especially the policy in order to ensure data quality, okay, in this strategy that you put together. Your strategy of data quality must be robust enough to accommodate the complexity of data you're going to be handling. Very important, okay? And then on that, you need to also maintain accountability for the data quality itself. That is the role of a data governance. Okay. So if you are a data governance and you have this initiative of a data quality to carry out to make sure there's enforcement of the governance framework in terms of monetary and data quality process policies. So we have data quality metrics as part of the strategy to ensure data quality. Oh, your hand is up.
Yeah, quick question. Okay. So you're the data governance manager responsible for the quality of the data, but the accountability, it's your responsibility, but do you implement it or does someone else implement that?
Well, to be quite honest, your work as a data governance is to ensure that that governance framework you have in your strategy are well monitored and enforced in terms of policies and procedures. That is your job as a data governance. Because this right now, this main work is actually data quality initiative. So who is the stewards in this? Is actually data analyst.
So they'll be the ones responsible for making sure.
Data analysts. They will be responsible for this. But you are the one that need to make sure there's enforcement of data quality policies that are put in place for that initiative to be carried out. So that's why it's good for data governance to know what is in what analyst does. So you are managing, you're managing, yeah, Louis? Louis, your sign's up.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I did my appraisal yesterday at work.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? Yes, yeah. Yesterday. And they were quite impressed, scored very high.
Good.
Cutoff was 88, I was scoring 98.
Wow.
But just one thing they recorded. This happened 3 months ago. And it was a newbie that did the job. And I happened to come into that file. And the newbie did a very wrong thing, wrong data, and I saw the errors. And the next thing, when the manager, my boss asked me, we know you are well experienced. Why didn't you correct it?
That's it.
Oh my God, I was shocked. And I said, no, it's not me. And they said, no, we know it's not you on the system. We know, but you came into that file. But the file will recognize, you know what you're doing and you saw it. Why didn't you, not only did you see it, why didn't you correct it?
That's it. So it's very important. Thank you so much.
It was like a slap on the wrist. Don't do that again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very typical example of what this can really imply. You know, why we're taking it very, very with treading.
It's very important too.
If your hand is up.
Yes, in response to
Thank you, Louis.
In response to Louis being asked that question, I would have said, right, I saw it, but it's his responsibility to correct his own errors. I can point it out to him, but I'm not accountable.
It's a new person.
Yeah,
so still on that training.
Let me be very frank with
you. But they said that was not an excuse, but for the fact that I came into that file and they know I know that policy very well, I should have corrected it.
Thank you.
And Pastor said it's true.
Thank you.
Can I ask one question? I was going to ask a question.
Okay. As long as roles and responsibilities are defined.
This is it. Yes, because you may not be able to access somebody else's information.
Yeah. So if you are a data governance manager managing the integrity of data in a corporation, the data analyst, whatever he does, you should be able to know whether it is reliable or not. If it's not, if you detect error, you have the responsibility and accountability of make sure that error is taken care of, because all what we want to ensure as a teamwork is integrity of data, trustworthy data. So if they tell you that why didn't you correct, yes, that question is right, because enforcement is never a joke. Enforcement of framework, because the entire framework is to make sure that data has quality and integrity. So you are the one who need to enforce it. Well, that's why I always tell people, as a data governance, you must understand data analyst job very well, not just say no, just being aware. No, this kind of knowledge is esoteric. It's actually really, it's not about just you being aware, like aido, the Greek word for that knowledge is aido. But it's not gnosko, which is like revelational knowledge. But you need to have what's called epignosis in terms of knowledge of what data analysis is doing, so that there's no difference between you and the knowledge. If someone who is stewards are doing something and you know that he's not doing it well, or you have an insight into reality of what's going wrong, you need to correct it because you're working as a team.
Someone sent you a message on the chat.
Collaborating. Okay. Okay, Barrister said something here. He said, for the fact that we notice an error, this must be raised and discussed. Of course, hence we have teamwork.
Barrister, I didn't want to spoil someone's job, please. I just decided to keep quiet. I did my own part and I left, but he came back to bite me.
No, you can help. You can help. It's a teamwork. That's why Barry says you can help. Because as long as it's teamwork, it's a teamwork. It's not about spoiling someone. Or unless that person is not ready to learn, you can put it, you can find that question that you did try to do that, but he refused. But if you are the one who is in charge, having a final decision on that, you can change, you can make sure it's done. If your hand is up.
Yeah, what if it's a very large organization and you're responsible for over 50 stewards in there? Are you going to start correcting each and every day?
As long as you are in charge, you have to do your work. That's why you're highly paid.
Okay. Can I ask one question, please?
Yes, question.
Right. So you saw an error and you say your friend made an error, but you just said, well, I don't want to spoil your job. So you kept quiet. Would you call that behavior being biased or no?
Yeah, you can say it's being biased.
So that plays a big role in what we're supposed to be doing.
Pastor, that's a tricky one.
No, you can't say it's bias.
Okay.
The word bias shouldn't come in.
Okay.
Why can't you say that? But you compromise something. You compromise the accuracy of that information.
Oh yes. If you pick it up, what Pastor is saying here is that errors is not limited to one person. If you notice an error and you can correct it, why don't you correct it? You can raise it up. You can raise it up. No. If you can't, or if you notice it, then you raise it up to a management level, a supervisory level, or to whatever level.
Let me be clear on this. Let me be very, very clear on this. As a data governance manager, you are in charge. Is that right?
Correct.
Good. So the stakeholder won't be looking at the analyst. You are the one.
True.
So
in this case, there was a what the person did was a breach.
Yeah, I know. So
it's a big breach. Although I got the outcome, but my manager was asking me that you saw the serial number for this case file. It was not supposed to exist. Why didn't you go into the system? You have been trained to go in. Why didn't you correct it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the thing is that, thank you so much, Louis, on that. To be quite honest, your manager is right. So I want you to understand that data governance manager, you are here under training. You must understand when you are employed as a data governance manager, you are in charge. So there are so many people who are going to be working under you. And you must know what they are doing. Not just knowing. You see, that's why this training is quite different. Not just knowing. You have to make sure they are enforced by stewards. And you have to see that what they are doing is right. But if you are a data governance manager, like some people who are trained in other places, and they come back here for retraining, it's because they don't let them know. You say data governance, you don't need to do this, you don't need to know that, you don't need to do that. They find themselves, they can't even articulate what they have been taught. Why? Because they have not come to know. So I want you to understand that you must understand data analysis. And when we're going to be dealing with data analytics, that's why you're going to see it is imperative that a data governance, you must understand data analytics. So very, very important. If not, you put somebody in a place to do a job that need to be responsible to you, and you cannot supervise or manage what the person does, Look at what even Barrister put on the screen. It's very important. Now, there is one there, you say, that mistake could lead to serious consequences that may affect the company and its reputation. So even your job will be at stake. Do you understand?
Exactly.
And he went further by thanking Lewis for sharing what he has to, because not everybody always bringing this kind of practical real life experience. But I thank God for the platform that we are. People will bring life experience right here. So you must know what you need to do as a data governance. Okay? You must know what data analyst doing. You must know what visualization officer doing. You must know what other stewards at different capacity doing. So right from the data entry to the, because your program is very holistic enough as a collapsal of all the teamwork and positions and sector that will make your your data to be regarded as very high integrity data. Okay.
Pastor, another scenario is I got a call last week as well from Ireland, and this person came to me and said, okay, can you kindly look into this file? I went into the file and I noticed the contract we put out, another company accepted it. Now, they were supposed to execute the job. They refused. They now called Ireland, which was, and said they would like to cancel, they want us to cancel it. They now came to me. They didn't have the authorization. I could cancel it. And for me to cancel it, I had to go into the policy and I looked into it. And the lady from Ireland was asking, oh, please, can you just cancel it? They just wanted their job to be easy. And I said, no, I'm not going to cancel it. If the company wants to cancel, they should cancel from their end. But at the end of the day, if I cancel it, they're still going to end up getting paid.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, oh, she didn't know that. I said, you should kindly look into your matrix. It's all there.
Okay. So this is...
And she felt very silly coming to me because we were both on the same level. We had the same clearance to do it. But she was not sure. She now came to me. If I had followed it and canceled it, that would have been on my record and that would have been something I've done wrong.
Yeah.
And I told her that no, they accepted it. The customer is expecting a service. Their lives are at stake. They should execute it. If they can't execute it, they should put their reason why they cancel. And that would be between both third parties, things I don't know, both our company and the other company has agreed on that they must do when they accept.
Absolutely. That's a management strategy. That's things that need to always put in place in order to manage data and information. Thank you so much for that. So moving forward, I want you to always understand this data governance aspect of it. And Lewis made measure of metrics. It's another strategy for data quality. You must have quality metrics. Okay, these metrics are key performance indicators to measure data quality over time. Metrics should include error rates, data completeness, percentage, or the number of data-related incidents. So these metrics, they help you to measure your performance, the performance of your program, of data integrity. So, like more or less, if you want to, quality control, yeah, if your hand is up.
Yeah, I was going to say one of them could be like the traffic, could be like the, what do you call it, speeding traffic cameras.
Yes, speed camera, yeah.
Something like that, where they can measure error rates and all that. They can compile data. They can compile all sorts of incidents from those speeding cameras. So
that's like indicators to know how many speed you pass at a time, or maybe an average as well.
They're able to also control drivers from speeding unnecessarily, and thereby leading to reduce them death rates on our roads.
Okay, yeah, that's very good. So this is thank you for that instances you just example. But have you heard of the word quality control and quality assurance before?
Quality control.
Quality control.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen what is the difference between M&S and Premac?
Quality.
So the metrics, the metrics they put is the one to measure the quality. So the same thing as data. If data has metrics, you'll be able to measure it. Anything you cannot measure, you cannot control, you cannot manage. If you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. Put it in that way. Simply put, if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. So have you ever seen somebody who just carry a whole bucket of salt and put it in a soup?
I was even going to use a cake baker. The cake bakers, they always have measures for everything, because if you end up baking rubbish.
That's about quality. So, okay, when Marks and Spencer have a very tight quality control, Prema has a very wide range of quality control. Depends on the business strategy contract you have. M&S may not like to return to the manufacturer. Both of them could be having the same source of manufacturing company, but M&S have a very tight quality control within the range of 1 to 10. M&S can say, okay, my quality will be 6 to 7, 6, 7. But Prema will have a very wide range. It could be from 1 to 10. So it could be, it was 1 to 10, but if the quality is not good, they return it. I can return those things back to you in Malaysia or in anything. So it depends on the contract they have with you. Okay, so metrics are the word you use in measuring the performance of your business, of your program. Very, very important. And it's easy in a practical form. I'm going to tell you how metrics are be set up and defined in one of the practical example that we're going to have. Okay. And then let's ask question, please, Tony.
No, I wanted to add something like with the British standard. For example, they would say BS 2022, the British standard 2024. What's that? Because I've seen that before somewhere, where they're measuring like standards of their products, like manufacturing companies, they have to comply with the British standards. And the standards are reviewed every year. And those standards need to be met by your company. So if you are manufacturing clothes, we would say the British standard 2023.
Absolutely, British standard. So that is why your metrics is from the standard that you put together in order to ensure best practice and ensure the goals of the objectives of the company. That's what we use that as indicators to know whether your program is running very well. Okay. In this case, it's about data quality. All right. Okay. Thank you for that. And we have data quality tools. You have to invest in quality tools, data quality tools, and software such as master data management, MDM solutions, and informatical. You say informatical data quality platforms and data governance softwares. This software can automate data quality checks and provide real-time alerts. Okay, so don't be really afraid, because when you now begin to see software, things will run so smooth, but you should know what they are. You should know what they are. If you don't know, well, it'll be difficult for you to really articulate it even when they are automated. Okay, right. And we have a real-life example. Real-life example of a banking industry. We're talking about data quality now. Banking industry in the financial sector, maintaining accurate and reliable customer data is crucial for what?
Compliance.
For what?
Compliance,
fraud,
fraud detection, and
personalized services.
So what we are doing now is what you have just learned, how it happens in the real world. You see now, it's about practical aspect of it. So when you are asked some few questions about data quality strategy and what is the importance and what is relevant of doing that, these are the real world examples, banking sector. So, and data quality initiatives helps to do what? To ensure the customer records, transaction history, and account information are what?
Are consistent.
Consistently.
Accurate.
Accurate and updated.
If your hand is up.
Yeah, I was going to say a real world example will be the HR departments of every organization. We have the HR department will normally have a comprehensive database of all the employees.
That's correct. That's correct.
Their salaries, everything. So that if there's any fraudulent person within the organization or someone who just comes into the office who is not known, the HR department will always weed that person out. So, and all that is done to make sure they're adhering to the policies of the organization, they're complying with the policies of the organization, they're making sure they take out any fraudulent person from inside, and at the same time, they're also providing a personalized service, such as my salary could be different from your own salary. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that typical example. Okay, so look at the healthcare. I know some people healthcare, they are from healthcare here. Healthcare organizations rely on precise patient records to provide what?
Effective care.
Ensuring data accuracy such as patient demographics and medical history. It helps what?
It helps in making informed decisions and reduces the risk of medical errors.
Thank you so much for helping me out there. Okay. Okay, look at a retail company. What does it have? What does it depends on data quality to do what?
Manage inventory, optimize supply chains, and enhance customer experiences.
Thank you so much. Now, you know what you're going to do when you're going to be relating your data quality initiative you carry out. For example, you have an interview. Depends on the sector you say you have carried it out. It could be banking, so just know what's going to talk about compliance, the fraud detection. It could be healthcare, you're going to talk about present patient. It could be retail, you're going to talk about inventory, optimization, the process of supply chain, and whatever. Okay, that's good. Yeah, your hand is up.
Yeah, or with the retail group, you could just, I worked for a place like Argos, and when I was working with Argos, we collect customers' details and all that and have an inventory of them. And with that, we're able to manage the supplier chain. We're able to say we want more of these customers in a certain postcode, prepared more of that stuff to the other stuff. So using Argos as a typical example, or any other retail company as a typical example when going for an interview. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that instance example. Okay, now conclusion. Who can volunteer to read this for me? Very clear and loud.
Okay, can I?
If you can.
Yeah, he said, data quality is not a mere technical concern, but a strategic imperative. Organizations that prioritize data accuracy, completeness, consistency, and reliability get a competitive advantage. By implementing robust strategies and leveraging modern tools, businesses can ensure that their data services as a trustworthy foundation for critical decision-making, innovation, and success in data-driven era.
Oh, this is so wonderful, stunning. I love that reading. And I also want, two people to explain what you have just, Princess Bridget have just read. Two people.
It wasn't me.
Oh, sorry. Margaret. Yes. So two people. Can we have two people explaining what Princess Margaret had just read?
Well, I can try. So, the conclusion says that we've been told the meaning of data quality. Data quality is not just a technical concern, but its main aim is to deal with data accuracy and completeness. And that completeness needs to be constant and reliable in a competitive advantage. So, and to crown it all, it says that you must put a robust strategy in averaging more than two. So basically, it's very, very paramount. This is critical decision making in data quality. So for you to get to this end of critical decision making, your information must be accurate, they must be complete, they must be constant, and they must be reliable.
And trustworthy.
And trustworthy.
Yeah, thank you. So who else again? Thank you, Tony, for that effort.
What do you mean?
I could try.
Can I put the little?
Okay.
He said, we talk about the quality of data presented in this our time. That is not just ordinary technical terms, to bring out either the long or short-term plans. But in the implementation of this planning, we must ensure every data that was presented are accurate and have they are accurate and have their completeness, and then they are consistent and can be relied on, and definitely will be able to stand even in this time of critical decision making, and with all this competitive environment that we have in the kind of field that is being implemented.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. We have.
Can I try another word?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Can I try another word? Another way to explain it.
Try it again, please.
So, data quality. You obtain good data quality, or it helps through critical decision making. And for you to get to critical decision making, your data must be accurate and consistent and complete and robust.
Okay. That's very good. Who else again?
Okay, it's saying that Facebook are not just collecting our information for technical concerns, but they are collecting our information to make profit from it. So, but because of all the law cases they've been having, they've decided to make sure that whatever data they're collecting from us is complete, accurate, reliable, and consistent, so that when they take them to the cleaners, they don't have to keep paying out the way they are paying out now.
Okay.
Is that Caroline?
Okay. Can I also try?
You must have to
from
try.
my own understanding.
Yes.
There. Data quality, as my sister said, it's not just a mere thing, but it needs to, when it should be accurate, meaning that which will help us understand, and put the right information there, and correct information, and to be completeness. Its completeness is so all things will be like, if you are in retail, the history of your price and everything will be then accurate for the consumers to purchase, or well, buyers to purchase. And then when the data should be complete, as completeness, all things, all the history of the things must be clearly put there, and to be consistent, and it's a set of put your rules in place, and your reliability should be, be fair in whatever data you are putting there, that you will not be biased towards customers. So for me, and then the of what is saying to the strategy, what strategy? Is it a long plan or short-term plan? Well, that is what I understand. And then for the critical decision to be made, as he said, referred to medical side, that informed decision will be then make about a patient by the correct treatment, or information to be given to that person, correct treatment or something like that. So
thank you.
That is my understanding.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your contribution. And the reason why I said everyone should look at it and relate to it, and you can easily also articulate it in your own word, matters. It's just to know the essence of how you have assimilated the strategic approach of data quality initiatives. You can use your own word in this. It doesn't really matter that you have to use this. Like you can say, ensuring top-notch data quality is not just about technicalities. Okay, you can say it is a strategic necessity. Enterprise or companies that make accuracy, completeness, consistency, and also reliability of their data a priority gain and in a competitive environment, okay, or having a competitive edge over their rivals, okay. Through strong strategies and cutting-edge tools, businesses can guarantee their data forms a strong bedrock or a solid bedrock for crucial decision-making innovations, and also triumph in this data-centric age that is so dynamic and be driven in the digital world. So you can bring so many kind of definition to conclude whatever. That is what it is. Okay. Now that being said, I want you to understand something before we go. Have you been enjoying the training?
Yes.
Oh, yes, beautiful.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, next training will be very tough, but it's not today. No. I want you to understand what we have been taught. We're going to do it in practice. Okay, this is more or less data quality initiatives.
Oh, do that. That's disgusting.
Okay, this is more or less data quality initiatives. Okay, and to carry it out, you must understand the quality initiatives. Then you may be asked in your interview, not me, it's actually really, really a question that you will be anticipating. But practically everyone is going to tell me the data quality initiative they have carried out in their previous job. So, and if you really want, for the assignment to take place, when you come, anytime you come, we're going to tell people to start it so that you too can relate to it. Or if you want to have it done before next time we're meeting, please get in touch with me, and then we'll tell you how you're going to be articulating within 2-3 minutes the initiative I've carried out, because that's it's a question that comes, Sean Baker question for your interview. So that's why we're going to be spending time on this. For example, Can anyone here tell us an initiative that you have carried out? Can you just forget about your CV? Can you tell me any initiative you have carried out in data governance that have used result-oriented initiative? Okay? If anyone can tell me here, fine enough. If it's not, then within the week, make sure you get in touch because you're going to say it first 5 minutes and the first section of data quality initiative practical that we're going to do next time we meet. Very important. And this is what we're talking about, data profiling. Yeah, and then we're talking about data cleansing. We're talking about standardization and the data governance aspect of it for enforcement. And also we're going to talk about the quality monitoring of the same. And we're talking about the enrichment of it in order to have a good usefulness and integration of data as well, okay, from different sources. And what you do after the security of the program, and also the data stewards that need to carry the enforcement of whatever is in the program policies and procedures, and then you do the validations. So with this, you'll be able to explain exactly what initiative you are carried out. So if you need some help within the week, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can you just, if you have time there, can you just go through initiative? It is possible. Yeah.
Are you going to go through the slides?
I might not really be slide. You can just do it without the slide if you want to.
Okay.
We have 14 minutes here. If you want me to go through slides, I can. But if you don't want to, I want everyone to pay attention. Or for example, when you are employed, when you are about to be employed, and could you please tell me the initiative you have carried out in terms of data quality and control? Please take note of what you're going to hear. All right.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So when I first joined Argos, or when I first joined my organization, one of the data quality initiatives I carried out was to make sure the database underwent data cleansing processes, because I noticed that initially when I joined, I was told that it was I was getting into a brownfield environment, which was fair enough. But on getting there, I noticed the whole system was shambolic. There were so many databases from different departments. So one of the first things I did was to have a meeting where I got all the stewards and all the data analysts, including the HR and IT department involved. And I said all the databases should be sent to me from the various departments. This one, they all sent through their various databases. Everyone had a different sort of database. Data wasn't consistent. They were into standard. They were all different. Everyone had their own rules and regulations which they were using for their databases. So the first thing I did was, as soon as I got all of them together, I used Power BI to identify and remove duplicate records, because some of the records showed some of the records showed the date of birth in a different format. Some of them had just months, some of them had just years, some of them had date, year, month. So I made sure that went to the standard policy which the company wanted me to do. I removed all duplicate records. There were so many John Smiths on the system. It was unbelievable. Some of the John Smiths had the same year of birth. Some of them had different addresses. I had to make sure I cleansed each and every one. At the end of the day, I came out with, instead of having 50 John Smiths on the database, I ended up with 5 John Smiths, which were apparently, we only had 5 John Smiths on the system. And then after that, I looked at what rules the company wanted me to validate the data against, and I had a tick box next to that. So it went to those predefined rules. Then I looked at the accuracy of the data, and then I also found that the database was not really complete, because what the company wanted was to make sure everyone's house number was included within the database. Some of the addresses had just the postcode. Some of them had the door numbers. Some of them didn't even have a street name or a place against it. So I had to make sure everything was to standard. And I also made sure that all the data received was consistent. And then there was a set of metrics against which the database was meant to be measured against. I had to bring in that metrics and use that to measure the data going forward. And then after that, the data got validated by my line manager, and they were happy with it. And they said, based on what I had done so far, they felt decisions were going to be made. In fact, during the cleansing process, I even found that there were a number of employees who were still on the system, no longer in the company, but funnily enough, money was still being paid to them. So the payroll still had those people on the payroll department, and they were still paying money to those people who had left the company in aeons ago. So, I mean, based on that, my manager was so impressed that I got a salary pay increase of £20,000. Thank you.
I better come to my company. We need pay rise.
Congratulations.
Please come to my own. I need pay rise.
Thank you.
Well done.
Are you impressed with that?
Yes.
Very.
Yes.
Very.
Very.
Amazingly, all of you will be doing that.
So when I grow up,
nobody will run away from it. I can tell you, Barrister Emmanuel saved a whole local government area thousands of money because of this. If he has time, one day I will tell him to let you know this story. Very, very bad. In fact, they have to, immediately, anytime he save, anytime, at times we just have 8 jobs. 8 jobs. People just say, please come and join us, because he saved thousands of money because of proper data, Yeah, so it's someone who is a barrister, have practiced in Nigeria, practiced in Germany, practiced here. He's also a very top-notch person in social work. In fact, he's really good. He's here with us. If anytime you see something on the platform, you see him putting his head. I think I also saw him now saying bravo. It's amazing. Okay, this is what everyone is going to be.
Thank you, Pastor, for that.
So do you have time? Okay, you can speak. I don't know if you can.
Well, it wasn't thousands. It wasn't thousands. It's millions, because other local authority had to do the same thing that I did and recommended. So that local authority alone actually saved millions, and all of local authorities all over the country had to key in on what I did and recommended for the team. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I thought you would not even have time to even talk about it.
Yes, sir. So I have a question, sir.
Do please.
I want you to please define the green field and brown field.
Okay.
Yeah.
When if he was speaking, we define greenfield and brownfield. Greenfield is when a company has not gotten any data governance program, but you are just coming employed for the first time to carry out the initiative. Okay? Just imagine you going in and you're able to explain what AFA has said. You're going to be paid highly anyway. Brownfield is a data governance program is already there, but they are having challenges. They need to employ you to take care of the data governance program. So sometimes, in most cases, some of them will do this as if there's a data governance program, and they say there's a brownfield, but getting there, like what FA have just explained, they say initially they say it's a brownfield, but on getting there, you saw a lot of things. That becomes a very big issue. Use the opportunity to renegotiate your salary anyway. Barrister, your hand is up.
Yeah, quite frankly, greenfield and brownfield could be very confusing. So what I advise people to do, when you're driving, when you get to a traffic light, there is the green light, which says go. So ordinarily, you will actually think is the opposite. So at the back of your mind, just have it that green field, it's like pastor said, or our teacher said, our lecturer said, where there is nothing. Then brown, take it that brown, it's dirty. Brown, the thing is already there. Is already there. There's something in place. So they have lots of things in place. And there are some organizations that they might tell you that it's like CEO FS said, they might tell you that it is actually a green field where there's a brown field, that they already have something in place. But when you go there, that would be an opportunity for you to actually negotiate, because they will actually know that, you know what, you've seen the system and you say, well, there's nothing here. So that I'm going to start from the scratch. So that is the the green field. So you could see when I'm even using the brand green. So at the end of the day, have it at the back of your mind that green, there's nothing there. Brown, the color brown, it's dirty. There are a lot of things here and there. So it's for you to ensure that you put the system right, you make things right. That's why they're obviously employing you. That's why they're employing you, to ensure that you get things right for them. And it's actually an opportunity, like Eva said, she was able to, that when they see what she's done, they now said, oh, even before you telling them that, oh, well, you want a salary pay rise, you want, if you also give us an example of when she came into this country, she didn't expect that what she was going to get. There are times I tell people that they never say never, always venture into something. For those people that say never, like Prince Charles actually used that word, never say never. The reason he actually used that word is because journalists asked him at that time, are you going to get married to Camilla? He said, never say never. Today, Camilla is the Queen of England. So we should always ensure that we venture into something. We should always try. Always try. Like I always say, people say I'm a genius, but I always tell them I'm not. I try 100 times, sometimes 1,000 times to get what I want and what I want to achieve. So we are all geniuses in the making, Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. We have, if we put something on the platform, please take advantage of what's in the platform. We have Louis.
Pastor, my question is to you, Pastor Emmanuel, and Madam as well. What are the guidelines? Like, for instance, I know she said she saved the company some money and also raised money, and also Pastor Emmanuel has equally done the same. I'm just asking, is there a guideline one should have when writing policies? Because sometimes when you come into, in regards of a greenfield, in regards to greenfield, what are the guidelines you should put in place when writing a policy?
Let me just nail it straight because of time constraint. I have another training taking place.
I'm sorry, sir. Lewis is asking too much questions. You're actually in the profession, and we are just starting.
No, I'm not. Now, mind you, I work in insurance. I'm not a data governance already.
Mary,
sorry, Lewis knows all these questions. Lewis knows the answer. It's just for us to brainstorm.
Because now we don't even know about policies. Because I wanted to ask about the policies.
We're talking about greenfield and brownfield, and you say somebody's. By Emmanuel just said come into a policy. Pastor said you come into a structure, and it's a
thank you so much.
What are the guidelines?
So the policies, are we as a governance?
I've never written a policy before.
Hold on, Louis. Mary said something.
We as a governance manager, are we supposed to write the policies, or
yes.
yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This question has been asked before, and I'm very sure Pastor told us, all of us, that you can source policies you can get your policies from different sources, particularly if you look at inwardly as to what the company is doing. You can get your sources from there. You can get policies from other different sources.
That's very correct.
Yes, and that's it. That makes the policies. You add them together, you put them together, you apply to the particular thing you want to achieve. Because at the end of the day, you are the person in charge. This is what I want to achieve.
Yes, thank you, Amo, for that. Sorry, but let me just add to that. In law, there's what we call the ground norm.
They are new. If I just said it, that many of the participants here are new. They're actually new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I think when you get to the river, you cross it, man.
Hello. Thank you so much. I want to.
Sorry, could I just say something? Hello.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love this.
I said,
Barrister.
Yes.
With the AI trade, I'll keep this one short as well. If you want to.
Barrister, yeah.
I said in law, there's what is known as the ground norm. The ground norm means the source, where we have the main, as we all know, the main legislation for data governance in UK and Europe is the GDPR. And also, let's not forget, you were asking sorry, I didn't catch your name. You were asking if we also write policies.
Yes.
Like almost said, you get policies from different sources. And also, let's not forget that we also have, especially in big organizations, we also have the legal department. The legal department also has a lot to you as the data governance manager. You will advise to say, okay, we think this is how we're going to do it. Then the legal team will now put heads together. The different teams or the departments, the heads, will now put heads together, and you will now be the one to put things together to ensure that you get a very good policy. And also it goes back to the legal department again for a very big organization, because at the end of the day, there's nothing that that is done without the legal department. The legal department.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Quickly,
I just want, because of time factor. Yeah. I just wanted, but due to time constraint, I know it's going to be really, people would not want to go because there are too many to come in.
Even me, I don't want to go.
So I want you to understand. I want you to understand, Mary.
Yes, sir.
Mary and everybody, you as a data governance, your role, why they are paying you heavily, is to do what? To develop or create data, what is called policy. Let me go back to, you see this thing? 125,000.
Sorry, Mary, sorry. That is the word. That is the word, develop. Yes, develop.
Yeah, you can. Yes. Yeah. So when you say they pay 125,000 per annum to develop data governance policies. In this one, it's more or less a brownfield. If it's a greenfield, you have to create a data governance policy. Okay? Now tailored to the complexity of data you're handling. Okay. Now, in that policy, let me be very frank with you. It's also very, very difficult for people to many people don't do policy. They can because they don't know how to draft policy.
Sorry, Pastor. Can I say something before?
Yeah.
I know you're going to continue. So answering to Mary's question, yes, if they ask you to write a policy, you're not just going to be thrown into the deep end that you should start writing the policy. First of all, you're going to be liaising with the key stakeholders. So one of the first things you do in your, they have what we call 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days, 90 days roadmap.
Yeah.
Pastor, we never enter roadmap now, Abi?
So,
no.
Sorry, can I just,
right.
So 30-day roadmap.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Go ahead, madam.
So in your 90 days roadmap, one of the first things you're going to be doing is to identify who the key stakeholders are. You're going to be, your manager is going to speak to you, and you'll be speaking with people in the company to say, right, what do we need to do? what databases do we have? Do we have any databases? Is there anything existing? And then whoever your line manager is going to be telling you that, yes, we don't have a company's policy in place, but we would love to have one. What is required from the policy? Say, for example, let's assume if it was like a church and we want to write a policy for the church. One of the things we'll say the church will open at 9 o'clock every Sunday.
Exactly.
And they will 10 o'clock at night on Sundays.
Correct.
After, no one is allowed to come into the premise, yes or no. Or we'll say yes. Yeah. Give reasons as to why people can be allowed to come onto the premise after 10 o'clock at night, maybe for midnight prayers or something. So, but the policy at the moment will state 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So before you can get that policy from the church, you have to liaise with the pastor. You have to liaise with the ministers, you have to liaise with the deacons, you have to liaise with everybody to say that, right, this is a policy. People can come into the premise at this time and people cannot come into the premise at this time. And then what is it going to involve? We also want to also hire out the hall to people to have their parties. In the parties, we don't want alcohol on the premises because don't forget, this is a religious house. So therefore, no alcohol is allowed. Some people will say, oh, but if we don't have alcohol, we won't have many people who will be hiring the hall. So you would say, yeah, the pastor, everybody will say, no, it's purely a religious place. So therefore, no alcohol is allowed. That is guidelines and policies. One of the guidelines, you should be guiding that policy. So you would not be totally left on your own to start thinking outside the block. But why Barrister Emmanuel said that you can liaise with the legal department and also get information of the internet, because there are thousands and thousands of policies. If you Google policies for church, you would see different policies will come up. If you Google policies for network rule or for whatever organization, thousands of policies will come out. So whilst you're talking to your manager or talking to the key stakeholders, at the same time, you're doing your own research to see what policies we can implement and what policies will be useful and what policies will not be useful.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let me just say, because we need to close now. We are running over time. But Mary, for you to understand, I like the question. I remember last week we talked data governance policies, the different kind of policies. And the example, we define the policy they are responding and what should go in that policy. What should go in that policy. So, but one thing I really want to show you when it comes to policy is just listen to what has been said. Don't forget that when you are employed, you are not alone. There's a WhatsApp group. We're going to help at each other, wherever any difficulties you are meeting anyway. So we're here to help you. That is the advantage of being trained in this place. So that being said, I want you to realize that today is a very wonderful day. And I believe that you have learned something today. So if you have any other question, please, it would be nice for you to forward it to me. But one thing that I want you to realize today is that when you live here, make sure you prepare yourself for practical data quality initiative you have carried out that which you will explain the next time we meet. And if you have any problem with it, please do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to get in touch with me or any of us within the week, because you're going to speak as just as if we spoke. Don't be shy. Just say a word, and we are ready to prepare you before next week anyway. So that is very important. And also, I want to ask again, if you have anything that you need, please do not hesitate to get in touch as well. So on that note, I will say thank you for coming today, and we really love everyone, but 2 hands are up. So I don't know what I should accommodate there. Okay. Who's on first? Louis, your hand is up, and after that, Barrister. Thank you. Lewis, your hands up. Okay, Barrister, maybe.
It's just for us to take something home, just to answer Mary's question. With green fields, creates brown field, we develop, enhancing what is already in place with brown field. But with green field, we create, and when creating, like everyone has said, or our CEO has said, you know, is you could get lots of this information from the internet. You could get this information from stakeholders, how you want to work, what it's the nature of the company. The nature of the company means what does the company set out to do. And don't forget that each organization or hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, each organization has its own modus operandi, how things should operate. And the reason why the legal department, if they don't have legal department, you could also get a lawyer. The company can actually have external lawyer, is to ensure that the policies you've created does not negate against any laws or any legislation. And also in conduct, and that's another reason why we also have compliance department in big organization, to ensure that it complies with the ground norm or the main legislation that the company has been set up to comply with. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Barrister, to that effect. And I think don't be surprised, everyone. You will get there, and very soon you will be so much articulated with respect to data governance and every aspect of this training. And then you will be speaking like them. Even you will pray that they will pray that you should speak more than them as well. So don't worry about that. You will get there.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we should all be rest assured that this is not rocket science. You know, this is not rocket science at all. Yes. And like I've always said, the words, they are all English words. Just remember, whenever we talk about integrity, whenever we talk about the roadmap, is everything in the world. Whenever we talk about security, you know, is the word. And if you could get synonyms of the word, you use the synonyms of the word, and you're there. You know, thank you.
All right. So, big announcement. I want to know, before the big announcement, do you learn something today, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, everyone. Yeah.
Okay. The big announcement for today is